See, I'm on my job again. It's 1:36 p.m. It's raining outside. It's Monday, 4/23. There are people screaming through the air around me, like I said in the other video about the Revelations 20. There's people behind me screaming at me like they're sick. There's people screaming and they sound like pigs, like they're getting hurt and tortured. I don't know. They're getting their butts reamed for raping kids or something. I don't know what's going on because they're behind me. But I'm dealing with this again today. I'm being death threatened and I'm being murdered on my job. I am on my second route today. Already finished my day route. There's a board on my back that you cannot see with your own eye. If you're standing next to me, you cannot see it. There's wires wrapped around it and it goes all up and down my spine. There's some kind of like a cloth. There's a mirror. Okay. I know there's stuff in my head. There's been told throughout my life, let's go there first. There's, and a few times in my life, I've been told that there's something in my head. Well, there's not supposed to be anything in my head but my skull and my brain, right? Just like everybody else, but there's not. Mine is different. When I was in about 7th grade at LT Ball School, I was watching a movie, and I remember one of my friends was piercing his ear, and there was blood all over the table because he pierced it right in the middle of class. So I guess we could do whatever we want in school. But anyway, he was my crush for a very long time. My aunt, that's another story. I'll tell you that story another day. My aunt always said I was going to marry that guy, but anyways. I was watching a math movie, like Donald Duck. It was a cartoon math movie in 7th grade. And I went into like a daydream state of, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a dream or a daydream during the movie that there was something in my head. Well, then a few years later when I was 19, I had met Kevin Jackson, who had worked at Hera Arena, which later dumped me on my birthday because he's an asshole. But anyways, he was cute, but now he ain't. He was staff at Hera Arena, like I said. Well, we went to a party, and I will never forget this party because we had Cassano's pizza, and the pizza was so good. It was very good. And this guy, they left me. Kevin started dating some girl, and I promise you, she looked like a girl from the movie Uncle Buck. She had a hat on, she had a jacket, a really nice shirt, and a Madonna tie. Like a tie that was like some girls wore in school with the scrunch tops to look like a boy with a business suit. But anyways, I beat the crap out of that girl when I was 19. But Brett Waldron showed up at this party. I'd never met him before in my life. Well, everybody had left me, and I didn't know why Kevin had left me because I was dating him. And Brett put me on the couch for some reason. I don't know if he hypnotized me or knocked me out, but he was a bad guy. And he put his finger across the top of my head, and he said, there is something in your head. Well, I didn't know what it was, and I was like, inward personality back then. And then back when Doug passed away, there was all kinds of things happening to me, and that's another story. There was something in my head, and I called Pam Wright Johnson because I never imagined that there was something wrong with my head. And then later, when I was in last year, over the summer, I was in Ocala, and I found out, I forget what I was going to say. That's a lest you forget, Chris Fish told me. That's another story. I found out it's a matrix in my head. That's what they call it. That people can scream through this mirror they made. The realm that I talked about in the last video I made yesterday. But I have to go to work, so I will be back later. Bye. Something in my head is a matrix. It's a mirror made by like Chris Angel people to throw us off our path of our life, which is going to be, this is going to be the most controversial video that I've ever made. But if they interview people, they would find out that is true. My life is all a mess.